Xin chao, what's up everybody? Alright, we're over behind Quinway in this video today. We're going to talk about the #1 tourist destination outside of Australia for Australians. So, not their domestic travel, but their most frequented international travel destination this year for the first time ever is Indonesia. And let's talk about, can Vietnam compete with that? What are the numbers on Vietnam? Well, they didn't clearly specify them in the article. We can kind of take a look at it and see if they did maybe put something in about the actual percentage, but I found that to be very fascinating, and I would imagine that Bali is going to be the, main destination from Indonesia for Australians. I think it is geographically closer, so it's going to be a shorter flight. Like, as an Australian watching this video, do you guys prefer going to Indonesia or Vietnam or Thailand? And do you think like Indonesia will remain the top? And why, frankly, is Indonesia at the top? I couldn't really figure that out either. I was very surprised that those countries were at the top. Well, Indonesia was the #1 country, to be honest with you. I would like to see Vietnam be the #1 for Australians to visit. If you're Australian, how many times have you been to Vietnam? Do you plan on coming back to Vietnam? What can Vietnam do to improve more, to get more Australians to come here? I think the favorable visa policy is, pretty good. It's for all countries, all the big ones. So you've got access to, a 90-day visa where you can live on it if you want here. So I think those are pretty good options. What's making Indonesia the stronger option? Hold on, let me pull up the article real quick. You can take a look at beautiful Quinway as we come up here on it. They have dispatched the flower festival. Yeah, Indonesia has for the first time replaced New Zealand as the top destination for short-term trips overseas by Australians last year. According to recent media released by the Australian Bureau of Stats, 1.37 Aussies traveled to Indonesia in 2023, while 1.26 million visited New Zealand. For Australians traveling to Indonesia, 86 were going for a holiday and 7 to visit friends or relatives. It was different for those going to New Zealand with 43% and 38%. So pretty much half are going to New Zealand for business. And, I think Japan, oddly, is also a very popular place for Australians to go. I think over 500,000 people visited there in 2023. They didn't give more numbers. I would have liked to have seen the Vietnamese numbers. But I think, let me expand on this. I was just in Mune. I was just in Phan Thiet. I was just in Nha Trang. I live in Saigon. We're going to go north sooner than later. Wow, look at this. I think the beaches here, you can get super nice ones. If you want a really nice beach, you go to Nha Trang. Or even like a Han Son. Phu Quoc has some nice beaches if you go to the right area. Oh, they still got the dragon thing up. That's pretty interesting. But I think Vietnam can be a very top destination for Australians too. The big thing that they don't do here is they miss out on like opportunities and stuff. I forgot my exact thought of what it was today, but very much things are targeted towards the domestic market in Vietnam, and there's very much an afterthought for international tourism as a concern, for like when things are built and set up, etc. They're not calculating in their head that like the big spenders are probably the tourists. So they're still very much actively thinking in a domestic market mindset. So they missed the mark on a lot of international stuff. Like this flower festival, we've heard what I've had to think about it. It doesn't really appeal to anyone but Vietnamese. And not really too many people outside of like little kids and like women, and like it's not capturing the crowd of everybody. It was pretty poorly set up this year as far as like navigating this place because they fenced you in. They had a fence going all along this perimeter. But I think Vietnam's biggest thing that they need to do as well is customer service, you know? They need to present a option where you're not getting ripped off on all kinds of stuff when you come here. Like on stream the other night, this is why you should watch the stream. I'm gonna do a video about the stream update for the YouTube channel and talk about the YouTube channel and streaming. But on a stream, I got a banh mi, you know, we sometimes hang out at like a mini stop. I got a banh mi from a guy and he thought I was a tourist. He hit me with 100K. It was insane. I just told him no. And then he's like, I have the money out. You know, I'm a little toasty, I'm a little drunk. And then he goes 50K and I'm just like, ma foi. And I'm just like, whatever. But like, that is crazy. You know, that guy's banh mi is 20K tops. You know, he's the guy driving around with like the sack of banh mi. So he goes and picks up some bread from the bread guy for cheap, maybe a day-old loaf. No joke, this is how they do it. And then they go and pick up the ka, like the pork, the white pork, and it's very basic. They'll go get some at the market, maybe some green onions, some usually no daikon radish, no anything else, cucumber. So green onion, cucumber, the ka, I forget how they say it, C-A-U, ka. If you know in the comment section, correct me on how to say it. My Vietnamese is absolutely terrible. And some salt and pepper, and hot Thai pepper, Vietnamese pepper, and cucumber. And that's it. And it's a good sandwich usually. They're usually 15, 20. If it's a bigger banh mi, 25K. So I was absolutely just floored when the dude came at me at 100K, but you know, these instances aren't few. They're happening everywhere. And price gouging is like real. I don't know how much a coffee is here, but I guarantee you it's exuberantly more expensive than what 90% of shops sell coffee. I could be wrong, but yeah, so draft Tiger is 90K. I mean, that's okay. It's good that they got beer here finally. They didn't have it before. Let's look at more of the prices. You gotta understand, this is like, I wouldn't say Times Square, but it's a very like Santa Monica Promenade type area we're in. Well, they got some food. It's not bad. 100K, $4. I mean, it's not the craziest overpricing, but you know, there's just a lot of inner working issues with repeat tourism and getting tourism here. I want to know what you guys think and how they can improve tourism. I've said my thoughts over and over again. I think, of course, you create a better customer service. You create a whole nationwide campaign to let vendors know that, you know, getting one over on somebody isn't productive long run for business. Like, there has to be a mindset shift. This has to be initiated by like larger powers to be. You know, this can't be a thing that you're gonna hope that if you just say something, it'll get done. You know, Vietnam has the power to do things like that at a fast rate. You know, they could probably get rid of trash pretty quickly. They could improve in a lot of things if they just decided that that's what they wanted to do. You know, they beat to their own drum. It's part of living in Vietnam. It always beats to its own drum. You have to adapt to it. It is what it is. You know, it's part of living here. I really think that's the video. If you have anything you want to add, let me know. If you want to watch me live stream, that's over at kick.com, Fat and Broke. All socials, Fat and Broke. So if you want to find me, Fat and Broke. If you do want to support me in additional ways, we've had a big month on Patreon. I think we're going to have over 15 videos this month on there. All original content, some deleted scenes, some tech stuff on there. If you want to see all that stuff, that's at patreon.com/Fat and Broke. So as ever, stay frosty. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.